Sophia's a legendary business coach. She makes like 100 something K a month right now, which is like fucking bananas. Crazy, crazy numbers. And we met a couple years ago and like just spent a couple days jamming. And I thought it would be cool to ask you about some like doing the hard stuff. Like I think obviously the coaching business, the magic business are very different, but I think they're both very similar in the first phases, which is that like you can't afford to hire people to do the shit for you. You can't afford to spend lots of money on ads knowing that in even 18 months the ROI will be great. You have to do a lot of bootstrappy things. And for us, that is cold emails, which we thankfully don't do one at a time. We use some software to do it. It's contacting past clients. And I think the first thing I want to ask you about is that one of the problems that a lot of members have is this is their first time being a business owner. Mm-hmm. And you could like go a week and a half without like genuinely doing any work. And I'm sure you can relate to like moments in your career. Now that feels impossible, but moments in your career where that was the case. And you feel like, oh my God, like why aren't things growing? This stuff isn't working, but like you actually haven't given it a college try to say that it's not working. Like I always joke, like someone would be like, John, I sent 200 cold emails, like it didn't work. I'm like, it's a joke. Like those numbers are a joke. Like, you know, there's nothing to say about that. Like you have to do 10 times that volume even, and that's a sample, you know? So talk to me about the moments where you went from like not doing shit to like working hard. Like, was it a mentality thing? Was it a grit thing? Was it because we were just talking, like you were cold DMing 50 people a week, basically, or like warm DMing, but people didn't know you. You were like DMing 50 a day, which is like proper work, So talk to me about that, like that transition from like nothing's working, oh yeah, I'm not doing anything, to like when you started doing stuff.
Yeah, I think like in the beginning of business, everything feels like hard work. And so you could think you're doing a lot, but then when you compare to like your coach or other people that are actually doing bigger numbers, it sort of expands your mind of like, oh, I'm not just meant to email 5 people and get 5 responses and 5 clients. It's like, it is a numbers game. And when you learn like, oh, it's more like 2% of your audience at any given time is actually going to convert, and makes you realize, oh, okay, like I got to do the reps.
That's so sexy. 2% of your audience,
of anyone's given audience is going to convert. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, well, you got to do the reps, right? And like, that's if you're doing a good job as well.
Yeah. That's if you're crushing it, right?
Like you could send 100 shitty emails, or you could send like 100 really good ones, and then maybe like 2 people convert or something like that. More or less, obviously.
Yep.
But I think I just realized like, I thought I was playing a big game, and I realized I was playing a big game in my head, like making everything a big deal. And then I would have it fed back to me by my first coach at the time of like, you got to do more of the numbers and stuff. And I realized I was doing the comfortable tasks and not like I was changing my messaging, I was changing my branding, I was
like
spending
fucking
time
around
on
the website, like all
like
this nonsense.
Thinking I'm being productive, but I wasn't actually doing revenue generating tasks. And so one part was that, like comparing like, oh, this is what someone making this much is actually doing versus what I'm doing. If I want to be doing that, I need to be up leveling the actions I take. The other thing that really helped me in the beginning of business was actually tracking how much I did in terms of tasks.
Tracking tracking.
It was such a simple tracker. I give it to my clients even today, and it's like, if I did a post that day, I would tick it. If I messaged 10 plus people, I would tick it and whatever. And it was interesting. Like when I would sign a client, I would look, I'd be able to visually see. Interesting that I signed a client when I did all of these things, comparatively when I didn't do those things, like I didn't sign a client. And it started to train my brain of like, oh, if you do that thing, you sign clients. And if you don't do those things, you don't see clients. And actually just visually seeing that was so helpful. And then it taught my brain of like, oh, message people, it works. Like, oh, post content, it works. It's when I don't do those things consistently that it's a problem. And it just sort of taught my brain, like the more I lean in, the more I'm going to get out of this. And from the hiring perspective, yeah, most people aren't in a position to afford getting support in the beginning. But my mindset was really like, if I want to be in a position to do that sooner rather than later, I've got to do the reps now.
Yeah.
Whereas if you dabble because you don't have anyone doing it, you're just going to be in that season for longer.
Yeah.
And so my mind was like, if I need to wake up early, go to bed late, hustle a little bit in the beginning now, as fast as possible to have money to get a VA, then that's what I'm going to do, right?
So funny. Like, I always tell members, like, with respect to hiring, I say, like, the best moment to hire is when you have something that you know that when you do it, gigs come out the other end.
Exactly right.
So, like, cold email is my favorite one because once you can prove to yourself, like, I sent 10,000 emails, I booked 3 gigs. I sent 10,000 emails. It took maybe 100 hours with all the software and whatever. It booked me 3 gigs. The 3 gigs, let's say they're $2,500 each, so they make $7,500. And you're like, okay, someone else could now send those emails. They could send 5 times as many of those emails. But the way to do it is just like prove. You have to actually have the undeniable proof that it works, that it worked for you. You've got a market that it works for, that, you know, the copy that you wrote works, that, you know, the software is working. And like once that works, you have such confidence to go and hire because you know that if someone else just does what you did, then it will work. And I loved what you said around dabbling, which is like, if you dabble, you will never escape.
Yeah, I talk about this all the time with my clients. I'm like, focus on mastering simple things rather than dabbling in everything.
Yep.
Like dabbling is just, it's no good. And when you pay attention to the detail of what you, like let's say, okay, you do cold emails. Like I reckon if you really focused on like nailing that email, you could send 5,000 and get 3, or 1,000 and get 3 gigs. Like maybe it doesn't have to be 10,000. If you do like, if you build, test, iterate, that's like my mindset of like, do it, send it, like test it, and then iterate where need be. Totally. It's like, if you have the mindset that you're going to do something and it's going to work instantly, like you are in for a long game. Like we talk about this all the time. It's like, you don't just run a workshop for the first time and then you're just rolling in clients. You don't post on social media once and you go viral. Like it just doesn't work like that. Like you've actually
I posted on social media. I went viral. Nothing happened. Like but like that's the best you could ask for. Is that like it kind of works the first time and like but it's still not gonna really like make a huge impact. Even like, you know, I love people running Google ads. It's really awesome. And like some people run an ad within a week or 2 weeks and like get a gig out of it. It's like, holy crap, this is amazing. I want to do this forever. Some don't, and it's like, bro, you gotta like keep at it. Like, come to the ad support calls.
And you'll never know if tomorrow is the day or the next email is the one that works if you don't keep leaning in and doing that.
I had a great conversation with a member, Cody, who was asking me about, I don't remember if it was cold email or about social media or something. He was saying, like, it's not working. I think it was cold email at the time. He's one of the best I know at cold email. He was going through a window where it was not working. And we were joking about this earlier, which is, like, sometimes we're a coach, but most of the time we're, like, a teacher. We're like, hey, you do this, do that. This moment I was a coach. It was such an interesting game. He was like, cold email's not working. And I was like, Cody, be honest with me. If you were to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, I am putting so much effort into this. I am putting a 10 out of 10 effort. The fact that this isn't working is mind-boggling to me because I am giving this 100% my all. And a 1 is I am half-bakedly doing this thing and saying it's not working. Like, where are you? And he's like, probably a 5. And I was like, cool. Then you can't even say it's not working. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, like how can you get a 100% result with a 50% effort?
Yeah, but also like a lot of these things, for better or for worse, the way it works in our industry is that like some work for some people in some markets and some work for others and don't. So like, for example, cold emailing for summer camps works incredibly well. Cold emailing for corporate gigs works horribly. And there's many different examples of this. So when someone tries like, oh, I'm going to cold email like resorts, like I'm like, did you give it a legit effort? 10 out of 10 effort to be able to go, cool, I will no longer cold email resorts, I will try another market. Or cool, cold email doesn't work for me or for my area or country. I'm going to try this other thing. And like, you do have to legitimately give it like a legit effort for a legit extended period of time to be able to go, this doesn't work. And again, self-eval. If you tell me I did this for 90 days at a 10 out of 10 effort and it didn't work, I'm the first to go like, cool, let's stop. Like, there's so many strategies that do work. But if you give it like a 4 out of 10 effort for like 13 days and then it didn't work, and it's like, well, yeah, of course it didn't work, right?
But also, like, sometimes it's like, what part isn't working? Like, sometimes our brain, and I'm so guilty of this, like, especially in the past, I would like jump to a conclusion and say like let's just say an example, like, free workshops don't work. It's like, well, actually, like, they do. So what part of yours specifically isn't working? Maybe it's the marketing you did to get people in the workshop. Right. Maybe it's the title. Maybe it's not the whole thing that doesn't work. Right. Maybe it's one thing right now that's not working. And if you change that, everything else then suddenly works.
Again, I'm just using cold email as an example. Exactly. But like, there's the copy, there's the audience, there's the
subject line, there's who you send it to, there's when you send it.
Yeah, like, there's it landing in people's inboxes, spam scores. Like, there is a couple verticals. Like, one may not work, but they don't all not work. I want to talk about a different topic that I think would be useful for people, which is the first time you ever coached a client, how much did you charge?
$1,200, $1,200.
For how long?
For 12 weeks, so 12 one-on-one coaching sessions.
Crazy. Yeah. Like, very, very cheap compared to now.
Yeah.
How do you think about, like, I think oftentimes we tie price to self-worth. Mm-hmm. Like afraid to charge a large amount because you're like not worth it, or that it's like representative of who you are and where you're at and whatever. And I think in some weird ways it actually is true, which is that, like, if you don't have proof, if you're early in the space, you should charge very little to get reps. But also, we sort of price for the outcome and the result and the industry and the market, and not for like how much I think I'm worth. Yeah. You know, so what's your thinking around that? Like, those moments in time where you choose to raise your price, you choose to price at a place that feels scary, and you try to not tie it with your like identity. How have you dealt with that?
So I was just 22 when I started my business, for starters. So, and I had never run a business before. I've never been to university, college, nothing. Like, you know, I didn't really feel worthy of like charging like $5,000, $10,000 right on my very first time coaching a client. $1,200 to me was looking at like, well, I guess an hour of my time could be worth $100. You know, that was the like typical mindset. Send 12 of those. And it was like, it was like, even that was like super scary. I remember where I was when I said that investment on the phone. I was like walking down my driveway,
pacing,
like being like,
worried,
I am so nervous to get to the part where I'm about to say how much this costs. Like, it was so scary. And like, I said it, and she said yes, and like, here we are. And I was so happy. I wasn't, you know, I think that was like a stretch for me, but it also felt right for me at the same time. When it comes to like, now I view it differently. I don't look at it like how much is an hour of my time worth.
Of course.
Like, I could give you a gut feel on like what I would spend an hour on versus what I wouldn't in terms of value.
But that's not, that math
like, I wouldn't do a one-on-one session for $50. Like, I'm not doing that. But I don't look at it like that. I look at it like for the outcome. Like, in most cases, I wouldn't even allow someone to just book a once-off one-on-one session with me, because I'm like, I bigger outcome, bigger picture. Like, I can really help you in an hour, but I can really help you over 12 weeks or 6 months or 1 year. And I care about the big outcome.
People ask me all the time for like to book an hour of my time. And I'm like, as a matter of fact, I close my smaller program, as people know. And I'm like, the only way I can help you is if you join the mastermind.
Yeah, because I want to give you the full...
And most people don't make it because like you want my help, like booking a public show, and I'm like, I can't help you.
Yeah, like someone actually no longer asked, like, you know, could I just buy like 6 one-on-one sessions with you? And I was like, actually, no. Like, I could easily charge a lot of money for that and like maybe the one that benefits out of that. But I said no because I'm like, no, because what about everything in between those 6 one-on-one sessions? I'm not going to just be like, well, you can't message me now. It's like the value is in the whole thing.
It's so funny. People ask me like if I'll coach in an industry other than magic, and I say, yes, it's $50,000 for 90 days for one call a week, and thankfully no one's taking me up on it. And I say that
on
as
purpose
like,
to avoid
but
it.
It's a joke, and it's also serious, which is like, if someone actually says yes, I'm 100% in. But that's how much I need to take my eye off the prize and work
with an industry that isn't like your as much your jam,
Correct.
even though you
Which
could
I'm gonna want to
obviously help
deliver in
them.
that space, and I also want to make sure the mastermind is still great, and I also want to make sure my other business is still great. So it's like you're cutting into so much of my like
Energy.
other shit, that like, okay, it's just exorbitant. If you really want it, let's do it. Like, so a friend was like, I need a business coach. I'm like, I'm not your guy. They're like, she's willing to pay. I'm like, $50,000 for 3 months. And they're like, oh no, that's crazy. I'm like, perfect. Go find someone else. I'm not your person. And I think also sometimes that's true. Like if someone's trying to book me for a gig I really don't want to do, like I gotta do all this travel and all this. Like, I mean, it could just be the gig plus travel cost, but I'm like, no, like fuck it. It could take 3 days out of my life. Like, you know, it's $10K.
To go back to what you were saying though, like with your original question, like when I was increasing my pricing, like it was more of I just felt like I was kind of ready. It wasn't this like, oh, I do it at this date every quarter or whatever.
Was there any math of being like...
Just feeling like, you know, I just had like, you know, my capacity was starting to fill up or, you know, that sort of thing. But it was always so scary. But when I would up it, I would walk around my house all day being like, the investment to work with me is $3,000.
Really?
The investment to work with me is to get practice
that's so
saying it. And then my other mindset was like, I just need one person to say yes to this for me to have the belief that people will pay me this. And when one person would say that, then there was no going back. So let me ask
you about the pricing. It's so funny. When you're on a call and you deliver the price of something, so you say the investment to work with me is $3,000, do you shut the hell up?
Yeah, don't say a word.
You go, okay, you get this, you get this, you get this, and then all in the investment to work with me is $3,000.
And you don't say anything.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I used to do that. I added a line now.
What do you do now?
Well, I added a line almost because as like a mental stress ball of like, you know, when you say a number that you're like scared of and then you're like, ugh, you know, like, so there's a couple of like lines that I've used, and the one that I use now is, you know, it's $5,000 plus HST, which is our like tax. So it's $5,000 plus HST, and there's payment plans available if you need.
Yeah, sometimes I'll say that. I'll be like, you know, the investment to work with me is, you know, $9,800 for the whole year, or we have monthly payment plans. But then I don't say anything.
Yeah.
Like
but
I don't say
the monthly payment
anything.
plans is great because it's kind of like, you're not giving a discount, but you're like giving
Definitely
away
not.
But I'm saying you're giving away for them to go like, oh, and how much is the payment? Like, which is like actually a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Like what you don't want is like, you know, it's $10,000, and they're like, oh God, and now you're like, just stay quiet. They're freaking out. Don't say anything. Like that's not good. But it's if you say the payment plan, then they're like, oh, okay, what's the payment plan like? And you're like, okay, we're actually in a good
now
in
we're
a good
moving
spot.
forwards.
Like
yeah.
we're in a good spot.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when I'm quoting a gig. Like I'm like, you know, it's 5,000 plus HST, and there's payment plans available if you need it.
I've like tested different things. Like originally I never said the in full amount. I always just said like it's $900 a month or whatever it is. But then I found like no one ever paid me in full. And so now I say the total investment, and then it's what's it called? Price anchoring. When it's the payment, like, oh, just 900, it's so much better.
For corporate gigs, it's different. Like,
yeah, of course.
Like people it doesn't work like that. Like, they often, a couple of people in the mastermind have been very cleverly disincentivizing breaking it up into multiple payments by adding a fee, like payment
which I do now. So I feel like even now, if I was to actually say on the sales call, it's $900 a month, but then when they go to the checkout page and there's the in full option, and it's cheaper, they might just choose that because the incentive is there without me having to have said that big number on the call and yap on about it. It's just simpler, $900 a month.
For our gigs, like people are like, oh, do I have to pay it all up front? So I used to say we do full payment up front. Sometimes if they need it, because it's like a big corporate conglomerate, it's like, oh, it's 50% before and 50% after. And then one of the members said such a great job. It's like, it's $5,000 all in, or if you want to split it into 2 payments, it's $2,750 before and after, you know? And just like, and they're like, oh, magically all of a sudden they did full payment up front, you know? So,
yep, I've had that. I've had someone, like, I remember a few months ago, someone emailed me like, is there a discount to this? And I was like, you know, like, no, there isn't. And then she pays in full, and I'm like, fuck. Interesting.
So funny. Okay, I want to talk about operations a little bit. Like, I think that we go through chapters. Like, I one of the things I talk about, you know, you've got a similar, like, I mean, my triangle is different than sort of the way that you do it, but you've got, like, attract, convert, deliver, basically.
I've got 3 pillars I focus on. I've got simple systems, sustainable strategy, and seamless sales. So
Oh,
sales,
that's actually close. It's actually close to
strategy,
mine. So
yeah,
mine is
systems.
lead sales systems.
Yeah, cool.
So like
That's the exact
that's the
same thing.
No, but it's funny that we both have systems as a third thing and not delivery necessarily.
Yeah. Delivery I see is like under sales. Like as in you need an offer to sell. So it's like I've got 3 components under each pillar. Yeah.
Delivery is, for me, not my problem.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'm just like, I can't help you do tricks. Like I try to help people with like jokes and bits and whatever.
But they're coming to you good at their craft and not good at business,
generally,
right?
and also my mentality is that
whereas like my ideal client, like they want help with their offer,
With the whole thing.
one-on-one coaching, group coaching, transitioning from one-on-one to group coaching, hybrid, freaking you name it.
For mine, like I also have a belief that you get better at performing by
Through reps.
performing.
Yeah.
So I'm just whatever, just
like,
do it.
that's
You'll
your
be,
thing.
You'll be good. So anyways, lead sales systems, and what I always sort of express that happens is that like leads is the most important thing, and then when it's not the most important thing, it's because everything having to do with sales is, and then when those two aren't the most important thing, then it's because your systems are breaking, and then you basically go back to leads. Like you kind of circle the thing because first, like I had a client who like wanted to like make her website pretty, and I was like, just get leads. Like nobody cares. Just
oh my
get
God,
leads.
we are so in sync. I say this all the time. I'm like,
obviously, like yeah, of course. The same thing happened to you, right? Like
yeah, I'm like, dude, like let's just get your messaging right before we like go.
Before we change the colors, let's figure out what we're selling.
Like, who do you help first?
Yeah, of course, right?
No one's coming to your website. Do we get this right?
100%.
Let's just create an Instagram account. Then we'll
yeah. So lead sales systems, whatever. But I want to talk about systems because, like, you kind of need to get overwhelmed to put a system in place.
Yeah,
like,
you're not going to be really that incentivized. Like, some people, like, run before they can walk. They're like, go high level, all this. I'm like, bro, like, let's get you a couple clients.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
like, do it manually. Like, you've got 0 clients. You're fine.
Yes.
And then we build a system as it's starting to break. And that's not, like, waiting for something to be, like, don't...
This is what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, don't keep going to your burnt out and then change it. Like, just look a couple steps ahead and be able to see, oh, okay, I can see how I might need to tweak some things here. But it doesn't mean you have to, like, have everything set up on day one. It's like, I did everything manually in the beginning. Like, and yeah, sure, it's a little bit work.
This is going to be my question. So I always tell these guys, like, you don't need anything more than a spreadsheet until you're at about, like, 100K, like, basically. When did you, like, start getting a CRM? Like, what was breaking for you when you started to like build out some of the like heavy systems?
I was probably at 100K as well. Like,
funny, right?
I really feel like it was, I think I only got email marketing at around 6 figures in business.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
You teach a different approach. I didn't.
No, I mean, I don't really do a lot of like newsletter email marketing the way that you're describing. Just like for me personally, like I sent emails. I had a newsletter for years before I even had a product.
What do you mean? How did you?
I ran a podcast and had a newsletter for 3.5 years before I ever sold a product. My first product was a t-shirt that I printed only 100 of and sold 34.
Well, I guess like I had a YouTube channel. I still have the same YouTube channel, but I was posting YouTube videos for 3 years before I started a business, so I wasn't selling anything.
Same game.
Yeah,
same thing.
Now I'm just realizing what you're talking about. Yeah.
So you were like working out of a spreadsheet basically until you hit about 100K.
Pretty much. Yep.
And how did you? What broke?
What broke? I guess I wanted to automate onboarding of a client. Like I was sending a contract manually, sending in like a welcome email. All that. I wanted to like automate that. That was like a lot of work. Eventually, what broke? And just like, back in the day, like 6 years ago, you could post in a Facebook group and say like, hey, I just created this free resource.
Yeah.
Like, I would have like 200 people.
Yeah,
and I would manually send an email to 200 people and fucking no one would ever contact me or reply.
I did it too.
And like now I'm like, they click the link and then it's all automated. So that's what broke. Yeah.
Right, you were just like
I was just manually doing all of that, and I'm like, wow, work smarter, not harder. Shit.
Yeah, fair.
But like, But if that's not your problem yet, like you don't need to automate something. You don't need, like some people get ManyChat right in the beginning of their business. And I'm like, dude, like no one's DMing you.
I got
like,
ManyChat. I used it for 2 months. I literally
I
just
don't even
deleted
use
it
it.
yesterday.
I've never used it. I'm like, how can you not handle this? Like, I don't know.
I used it. I actually, first of all, I spend so much freaking time being like, comment this and then DMing everybody. Like, my fingers are tired and I'm like, not doing it. And then I got ManyChat and then I'm like, it's too complicated. I don't want to do this. Like, I just don't want to do this. It's too complicated. Like, email me. Get on my newsletter, email me. Like, I don't want to do this. Okay, one last thing I wanted to talk about, sort of like zoom out, which is I want to talk about the like opposing forces of sales and marketing and brand. And what I mean is that brand is not important and then it's really important and it's not important. So it's like so not important in the sense of like people come to your stuff because you run like an ad, which is like, it's not like, you're not like nailing a brand or anything. It's just like a pretty direct ad. And then they like click on it.
Aligns,
like,
yeah.
Right. They like click a link in an email and then they go to a workshop and like, you
Book
know.
a call and then they buy.
Like, literally it's like nothing to do with brand. It's literally it's like sales and all this stuff. But then like, again, at the beginning of a journey, you're like, brand doesn't matter. Just get the leads, get the sales, whatever. But like then there actually comes a point where your stuff being pretty and aesthetic and uniform and whatever like makes a big impact. And I personally find it hard. Like I go through moments in my magic business and my coaching business, but in my magic business where I'm like, fucking how important is brand? I don't think it matters at all. Like people join the mastermind, they're like, do I need a logo? I'm like, you don't need a logo ever. You don't ever need a logo. And then at some point I'm like, yeah, I guess it does matter. Like your stuff's gotta be like really pretty. Like people really have to like have trust in you, but like also it doesn't matter, but also it matters, you know? So like, how do you think about those two things where like, if I was to give 100 points in your business of like how people choose to work with you, I would maybe give like 12 points to brand and everything to everything else, the ads, the sales, the delivery, the whatever. But like it is important and like probably ever more important. And the people that we look up to in our space,
they prioritize brand,
have incredible brand. And even in the magic space, like the people that I look up to, like generally have like pretty strong brands. So how do you think about those two things?
I can't say I've like hugely prioritized it, but as time goes on, I start to see like why this matters, why, you know, so I think it's a stage of business thing. I think you're so right in the beginning, like, what do you mean brand? Like you just, you know, you don't have
just get
anything.
a lead.
You just
Run
get
an ad,
some
man.
leads.
Yeah.
So I prioritize like getting leads more and getting my messaging right, which I suppose like flows into branding a little bit. Like what's your repetitive thing that you're talking about and all of that. So I care about that. I think the aesthetics thing around branding matters, but in a different way. Like it matters at a subconscious level. So for example, people will come onto my ideal clients will come onto my website and they might say like, your website's just like so beautiful. Like, wow, your Instagram's so beautiful. And that's not what makes me money, but it does like go in their head of like, wow, she's professional. I want that. She can help me. Right. So it subconsciously does something. Because I remember looking at other people's websites, like I would dream to have that. And now what I know is like, you can pay money and have a beautiful website, and that doesn't really mean anything about the quality. No, but I think just subconsciously, if you aspire to be like someone or create something, it can do something. So I think, you know, I've spent a fair bit of money making my website beautiful, having branding colors, having consistency in things for that subtle thing of like, if someone like, you know, clicks an ad, registers for a workshop and susses my Instagram, do they need to go through all the content and all of that? Like they actually don't. A lot of my clients actually aren't even following me on Instagram. They follow me friggin' after. But I think like they might suss it and be like, this person's legit, and they can see that from the brand, you know? And I think that matters. But then for the people playing a bigger game, like I'm talking 8-figure business owners, multi-7-figure business owners, I think they talk about the power of a big personal brand because they're trying to like amplify everything, larger following, you know, organic, paid, and leaning into that. And that's when I really think branding starts to matter, because if you recognize that only a small percentage of your audience is actually in a position to buy, you'll start to see that branding speeds that up and raises that percentage a little bit.
And what about, you know, something I want to like chat about openly is that your like operation, let's say, is they go from an ad to sign up on a form to attend a workshop to a sales call to working with you. And you also like post a bunch of videos on Instagram. And it's very funny that of all the strategies that I teach in the mastermind, I don't fucking touch social media with a 10-foot pole. I'm like, don't bother. Like, I have some trainings which is basically about like make it pretty, and that's good enough. Because people will look, and if it looks pretty and it looks nice and you look like you can do the thing you claim you can do, great. You don't have to go viral. And I almost want you to speak a little bit about, like, I think when you're an early business owner in either the coaching space or the magic space or any space, you kind of have this like belief that I'm going to make so much organic content, I'm going to make such cool videos that people are going to like inquire to work with me from all the organic content. And like, organic is like not in your strategy, and it's also not in my strategy. And also I'm like I want to say don't bother. Really what I mean is don't prioritize. Like, we got to like get a business machine cooking first. And then when that's cooking, we can certainly spend spare effort and spare team effort or whatever on that. But did you go through like it's all going to be organic, whatever, and then like a mindset shift? Did you always know, like, why are you doing it right now? Just talk a little bit to that, because I think, 100-something K months is fucking bananas. And like, when you hear that, you think like the person is famous. People are fucking reaching out. There's like a line to work with you that you're like batting people away to do, but really it's just like, oh, I need more leads. I'll run more ads and do more sales calls and
the funnel just works now.
Right. There's a funnel.
Yeah, there's a funnel.
That's what it is. So like, talk a little bit about that. Where like the fact that like organic doesn't really involve. Did you have like a come to Jesus moment where you realize like, oh yeah, that really isn't doing anything for me? The first, and then after that, I'd love for you to talk about like why you're still doing organic, even though it's not a main source
anymore. So for the first 4 years in my business, I did everything organically because I wasn't thinking about ads. Like, my mindset wasn't there of like spend more, like just spend money. Like, I was like, why would I spend money when I can just do it for free? Yeah. Like, it was my mindset. I just didn't know any different, and ads seemed like it was super foreign and advanced, and it was like, it was, I think now it's starting to become more normal that actually people starting out, if you want to speed things up, like start with ads. Run I think that's becoming more, the way now. But that wasn't the case for me with my awareness of what to do like 6 years ago, and so I just did organic because that's all I knew. And I think if you're doing organic, personal branding absolutely matters.
Absolutely.
And I have friends that they are doing, I have a friend that I know of, but there would be plenty, that she's also doing 100K months, but without ads because she has a personal brand. So it's like there's two ways you can go about it. You can build a personal brand.
Also, just to interrupt, she's not like magically saving all the money that you're spending on ads. She's just investing roughly that amount of money in the team and the software and the tech and the whatever to have a personal brand. Plus or minus. Maybe it's less, maybe it's more. But roughly. It's not that she's
it's just there's no right or wrong. It's just what's the path that you want to go down on, but then really go down on it. So if you're going to go organic, fine. Keep in mind, she posts 3 times a day. Right. It's like, it's just another path. Do I post 3 times a day? No. But am I making 100K months organically? No. So it's like, pick your path and go all in on it. It's like, I could choose either one, but then it's like, okay,
for her. 3 times a day. For context, let me just like stop and look down the barrel and be like, for magicians, mastermind members or otherwise, who are trying to grow their magic business doing organic posts on Instagram, are you posting 100 posts a month?
Fuck, you're good at maths. I don't know how you did that.
I mean, it's 90, but whatever. But like legit, like, are you doing 100 posts a month? And if the answer is no, then like either you have to do 100 posts a month or find another funnel that works for your life and lifestyle. And like for me, 100 posts a month is not in the books. Yeah. Not in the books.
But for her, sending 1,000 emails, whatever the number
is not in the books. Running
like
an ad,
she's like, actually like, that's what she'll talk against.
Yeah.
Is there a right or wrong? Actually, there's not. What do you prefer? Do the thing you prefer. There's not. It's like,
for me, I am
Like she would not do that. Whereas like she will happily do 3 posts a day. So it's like she does 3 posts a day, she posts on her stories every day. She'll run like 1, 2, 3, I don't know, 3 workshops a month. And she will be in the DMs because she gets all these DMs organically because of the personal brand. She has to pay major attention to her messaging and marketing because that's where the business is coming from. Her stuff has gone viral. That's why she's got a big following, which is why she's able to do that. Now, you know, she's done the reps to enable that to happen, and she's been consistently doing that for several years now. She's built that up. I don't do that. You know, I'm not doing 3 posts a day. I'm doing 7 posts a week. You know.
Yeah. Which is like
bananas to you.
I mean, it is bananas to me, but also it is so much less than 3 posts a day. Like so much.
Yeah.
And also, she's giving her post. Thanks. She's giving her posts a level of energy and effort that you're not, because it's not your funnel. It's just like your
it's
12th
just to
priority.
It's just to like
look pretty when people scope it out. Like I always talk about like
people. I have clients say to me like they love my content. I'm like, shit, like that's awesome. Like I don't love my content. I need to love my content more. I think it just, I don't know. Like to some people they love it.
Content is, you know, we were talking about like brand width. You know, like how many have time on brand, and like that. I don't want my content as a lead gen source. I want my content so that if someone is thinking about hiring me, that they can, like, I call it like sniff my butt. Like a dog, you meet a dog. Like someone's like, who the hell is this Jonah Babbitt's guy? Do I hire this magician? Like if they look me up and if they poke around, they go, whoa, this guy is awesome. Now, like I don't need to post 100 times a month to get that.
To show
I
that,
just need,
yeah,
like,
exactly
a couple
right.
things to do that.
Exactly. I just want to I just post to like stay top of mind and like, you know, hope that like right time and place.
No one
someone
wants to hire
something.
the person who hasn't posted on social for 18 months.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like you like, oh, should I work with this person? You look and you're like,
they
last
don't even
post 2022.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like,
I'm not doing that.
You know, so you
and it's like
wanna
healthy
be
expectations.
present.
You want 100K months, 50K months, even 30K months. Like you got to be doing the reps somewhere, whether that's money on ads, whether that's like there's work required friggin' no matter what funnel to like actually master something. If it was that easy, everyone would have it.
Of course.
Like there's attention to detail no matter what. Like you don't just post an ad and it works. Like you got to get the ad right. You don't just post a piece of content and it works. Like you got to get that right. There's just like layers to all these things.
Everything. The landing page has got to be right.
Yeah,
The sales goals got to be
exactly.
right. They're like, you know, there's so many like drop off points.
So I did organic for 4 years. Then my ads manager now, like he had reached out to me. He's like, dude, like I would love to help you with ads. Like you could be making so much more in my opinion. And I believed him. We caught up.
Right.
He was right. And we started posting ads. Did we get it right straight away? Absolutely not.
How long did it take you to get your ads right?
Honestly, like, long story short, I did have my ad account was blocked when he first met me. So we had some major issues to work through there.
That happens. People join the mastermind, they start running ads, doesn't work, won't let it. Google won't let
say
them do this,
a year.
do that.
Honestly,
it took a year.
I'm not saying we didn't get any results for a year. I'm just saying, like, it really took a year for us to figure out what works for us. Yeah.
Also, like...
But now, damn,
cooking.
like, I'm asleep and people coming into my funnel being nurtured without me doing shit. And
I get people are inquiring about...
Right now, we're getting leads. Like, so cool.
People are inquiring to get gigs. Inquiring to, like, book us for gigs and, like, just pours in, like it just...
Yeah, and it's like, you know, like you said, you wouldn't post 3 times a day. I'm not sure I would either. And it's like, but then we also can't sit here and complain why we're not going viral on organic, you know.
I spend thousands a month on ads.
Exactly. It's like, pick your battles. I'm like, sure, personally, I would rather spend money on ads and not have to do
Well, that's what I was going to say before is like, it's not true for everyone, but certainly what I teach is that, like, you want to fucking enjoy your life, man. And, like, for me, constantly posting on social media ain't it.
Yeah, and for some people it is.
Some people it is. They
whatever.
Want to be famous.
Yeah,
like,
there's no
you know,
right or
and,
wrong.
like, they want to enjoy. But for me, like, the reason I like things like using software to cold email and running ads and even SEO things are because if you do these things right, you don't have to, like, constantly be outputting stuff. The ads are outputting it for you. The software is following up in the emails. You don't have to do it. One good SEO post can benefit you for months or years and bring people to your website. So, like, I'm really about not putting in a 10-hour day every day, like, to attract people. Like, there's other things we can do that are like a little bit easier. So I often, like, that's the stuff that I gravitate towards teaching, because no one, like, I always joke, everything works. So someone's like, how do I get gigs? I'm like, bro, go to a rich neighborhood, knock on every door and be like, you want to hire a magician? Like, it will work. A, is that how you want to spend your time? B, what kind of coach would I be to just tell you to work really, really hard doing anything and it will work? Like, it's like, yeah, obviously, but like, you're hiring me to give you a shortcut, and the shortcut that is not incredibly demanding on your time and effort. So like, that's what I want to do. I'm like, oh, okay, run an ad, like, okay, email your past clients, like all the shortcuts so you don't have to do one of these like grueling things that work. And that's, I think, like, the beauty is to run a business that kind of matches with like your life and what you do. So fun, super cool.
I love this conversation.
Yeah, really cool. Anything else? I know it's like, obviously, and hopefully it's value for people watching. I know they're obviously very different spaces, but I'm trying to like touch on some of the things that overlap that like someone in your position can relate to. One thing I wanted to talk about is that you have is profit margins. I want to talk about profit margins, which is that I think when people hear 100 and something K month, they're like, holy crap. But like, you spend more on ads than you made 5 years ago in your business. You know what I mean? Like, per month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I think it's interesting that like all of this stuff is relative, and even as and the more money you make, the smaller profit margins you have. Like, I'm down to have 10% of a $10 million business versus back in the day, I was like, I want 95% of my $100,000 business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you're clearly then not investing to grow, so you're just going to stay there.
For sure. So I wanted to like
battles.
first say that, because I think people, like magicians who like, I think the ban for magicians, it's like 100 to 500K unless you're world famous. So like, 100K months is like bananas. Like the best in the biz are doing like, 50K months or 40K months, with exceptions of like November, December, which I've had 100 or, basically 100K months doing gigs in those months. Sick, super sick. But so I think that I wanted to first comment and just be like, it's a coaching like magic is actually a high profit space.
And like,
but you're still fucking spending so much goddamn money every month on the team and the ads.
Spend money to make money,
and so am I.
I feel like with your industry, it sounds like it's a bit seasonal and it will fluctuate. And so really you shouldn't judge your lowest month or your highest. Like, you got to average it out. Like, what's the average annual profit margin is what to look at. Because otherwise, like in a coaching business, that's where there's not really seasons. And so it's like, I would be shit stressed if like 1 month was here, the next was here. Like, my business does not do that. My business does this.
For us,
but like, so I think that I'm sure your audience already knows that, but like, I would just normalize, you got to average that out to really know what your profit margin actually is.
Yeah, but I think it's just nice to like think about it in terms of that every next phase,
it's going to require more of you, different of you.
More dollars, like to spend more dollars. Like, and as a coach, when I work with someone, it's so funny. When someone starts working with me, they're making like, 20K a year from magic. And they're like, Jonah, like, we can't, one of the questions they ask all the time on the like sales call on the way in to work with me is they're like, how much are the ads going to cost? The ads that I'm going to have to run, how much are they going to cost? I'm curious how you would answer that question, but I'll tell you what I answer, which is I tell them 3 things. I say the first thing is, my job as a coach is to make sure that you can bring in gigs without losing all of your money. Because if you lose all your money, we both lose. Like, I can't keep, you won't be a paying client, but also your business will crumble and you'll be unhappy and everything fails if you're out of money. So first, just know that I'm not going to be like, welcome day one, spend $10,000 on ads, because like, obviously not. Like, my job is for you to get results given what you actually have at your disposal. And if you don't have dollars, you probably have time, and there's things you can do there. I said that's number 1. Number 2 is, we're going to start with a small amount of money, and as soon as we can prove that $1 in brings $5 out or something to that
then
extent,
scale it.
well, then I'm not going to be the one to tell you to spend more. You're going to be like, Jonah, holy crap, like I spent $200 on ads and I booked a $2,500 gig, and I would be like, so? Like, can I spend 4? I'm like, go, bro. Like, that's why we have the team to help you do that. But I think people are often fearful about that, like, spending money thing, and I just want to sort of speak out loud about this idea that, like, early on, you do have to bootstrap. You do have to, like, cold DM.
Very
you
uncomfortable.
do have to, like, it's hard. It's, like, work.
It's uncomfortable.
Like, uncomfortable is a way better word than hard. But, yeah, it's, like, uncomfortable to do. But then as time goes on, like, you really, like, almost everybody who has plateaued, myself included, in both businesses, is like a fear to spend money and invest in the next level of thing. And like, that's usually what it is. Like, you're like one hire away, basically, from like your next plateau, which can be really huge, which I assume you've experienced that basically on your own, right?
I would honestly answer it the exact same. I would say the exact same thing you said, but like then it really is one of those things of like, you've kind of got to fuck it to find out, you know? Like as in, how are you going to get it to work to scale it without being willing to take the risk? So like you got to risk it to have the reward, and not in a stupid way. Like that's why like I would answer it the same way. Like you spend a little bit to like test it, get the metrics and numbers right, but you've got to be willing to invest to figure that out. And then the moment it is in a healthy range and you are like, from that data you're profiting, then you scale it. And like I really had to learn this mindset. I was so scared of spending too much money on ads, but then like being around people that are making, you know, way more money than us, their goal isn't like, their flex isn't how much money am I making this month. It's like, how much money am I spending on ads? Whoever's spending the most on ads is like the biggest flex. And it's like, and it's because there's this direct correlation then with how much money you're actually making. And so it really comes about how much money can you bet on it, and you've got to test it to
I also
figure
think
that
like
out.
even now at both of our levels, but also when I throw back to different moments and also coaching people through this crazy things happen that like at every phase before you invest in something, ads, a new hire, brand new beautiful website, whatever, like the amount of time that we lose panicking about the investment, and then we do it and it's like it's all like it worked or it didn't, but like, you know, it's like the momentum is like so much more important. And like I know that I've suffered through this being like, oh my gosh, should I try this ad? Oh my gosh, this is so hard. Like, oh, like we have a new cold email software. Like, oh, should I try it? Oh my gosh, da-da-da. And it's like, I spent 4 months thinking every day about whether or not I should buy this $50 a month cold email software. And like,
imagine if you just bought it,
whether it worked or didn't, like, it's just like, that momentum is like the thing. Like, you know, like that's like the way you have to actually play the game, is just like do the thing. You know, I heard a great, I think it's an Alex Hormozy quote, great quote, where he said that like, overpaying is the cost of growth, which is that like if you invest in, let's say, 10 coaches and like only 2 of them really helped you grow, if you were afraid to even invest in one of them, then you would have never found the growth that you got in the other one. So like if you try ads on 5 different platforms and one of them works, you wasted the money on the other 4 platforms, but also you didn't. Your willingness to overpay is actually what allowed you to discover the thing that unlocked your like growth. So often like the best thing to do is like just do it. Like just like, oh, this will help you. Like how many more months do you have to dwell on whether or not to spend that money? Really, like I want to say try the thing, but like often it just comes down to like spend that money. Like just like invest in the person or invest in the software, do the like new website redesign or try the new ad platform or like whatever. How many months or weeks do you have to like bang your head against the wall? Like, should I do this?
If people only knew how much waiting, thinking about it, deciding how much money that costs them, they would never do that. Like the most successful people in business are the quickest decision makers. They're not investing time in it because time is money. And like I've seen the real cost in me making cheap or slow decisions. Like this is such a random examples. Before I was even a business owner, or maybe really early on, I was such like tight ass, seriously. And I remember like I really wanted Apple AirPods, like but they were like $200, $300, whatever they were. And I'm like, I'm not spending $300 on AirPods. And then I remember I went on Facebook Marketplace and I saw these like, you know, the cheaper version, they're like $20. I had to like drive 45 minutes to pick up these $20 fake AirPods and 40 minutes back. And like they were so shit. I couldn't hear anything properly. No one could hear me properly. guess what? I end up buying the fucking real AirPods. I'm like, it actually cost me more money to try and go that cheaper route.
I wanted to buy
and I've got so many examples
of course.
of that.
I was just gonna say my story. I was gonna buy I wanted to play the NHL, this like video game, right? And like, so I went to buy this Xbox One, like the gaming system. It was like $400. I was like, fucking, I don't want it. I don't want to spend $400. Like, fuck. I would like hunt Facebook Marketplace every fucking day. Like, think about the time that I fucking spent. I could have fucking booked 1 gig. Could have gone and done one $500 birthday party that I don't want to do and just make it like, instead of all this like, oh my God. So anyways, I like would scour Facebook Marketplace. Finally, I found it for $100 cash. I'm like, fucking, let's do it. I go take the fucking subway, meet this guy, give him $100 cash, get the Xbox, go home, plug it in, doesn't work, he deleted his Facebook account. And I'm like,
I've bought secondhand iPhones, same thing. It's like, doesn't even work. I'm like, oh my God. And like, it's the same thing with like buying a coaching program or investing. It's like, oh, that's,
or an
I'm
ad
going to go
or
with
an
the
employee
cheaper,
or
I'm going to go with the
whatever.
cheaper option. And it's like, then people end up just buying 10 shit courses instead of just getting the mentor they actually needed and wanted.
Yes.
And then they end up investing in that person eventually because they still don't have the results. Like, imagine if you just went with what you wanted on day one.
You know, there's a member of the mastermind who pays his team like 2.5x what the rest of us do. And it's so obvious.
A players.
It's so obvious, you know? And I think a lot of us, to be fair, our industry, like the magic industry in space, like we can't quite afford A players, like just with our margins.
It's fine. You got to do the best you can with the situation.
Right. But I just mean like every chance you get,
where you can, you should.
and also it's not, there's not a binary. It's a lot like buying AirPods or shit ones is binary, but like investing in a person, you're like, oh, can I get away with paying them like this little? And you're like, totally can. You're just gonna get a different caliber of people with a different caliber of effort, a different.
And that costs you, like even like yesterday when we were catching up with a whole bunch of people, like someone was telling me they spent $10,000 to like in some program to hire an A player sales closer. My first thought is like, fuck, that's I didn't pay anything, but I'm like, yeah,
and
their close is
and
amazing.
doesn't ever show,
their close rate's amazing. I'm like, they got way more than $10,000 of value there, and just like a great representation of like A players. And a lot of people say I pay my team too much. It's like but they're amazing, and they're not leaving. They're amazing. I've worked with them for years.
There's something funny, and I don't know if this relates with Facebook ads, but with Google ads something funny happens, which is like people want to spend like as little as possible, but there's something that happens where like if you're spending $10 a day on Google ads, nothing fucking happens. It doesn't do anything at all, just because of the cost per click and the cost per conversion. It's actually too low, right? And like the number actually has to hit like 30 a day or 35 a day or something to like flip over to working. And it's something we see in the mastermind all the time, where people are like, "Oh my gosh, Facebook ads, like Google ads, like I'm shit scared. Like let me just do 5." And I'm like, it won't work. You're actually just waste the money.
But also, like, if you're in a testing phase, which to be honest is like just your entirety of business, you're always testing something. Yeah. Like, I'd rather spend, this is a random number, just example's sake, like, I'd rather spend $10,000 on this workshop to test something now than like $2,000 to like dabble in the data, and I have to run 4 of them to figure it out. It's like, just figure it out faster,
This
and
is like so
there's
much
nuances
about not
to that,
dabbling.
but
Like I love the topic of this conversation, just like not dabbling. It's like so interesting. What was I going to say about that with the ads and the testing? I don't know, but I agree with you.
You were talking about you got to spend like $30 to get
that. You have to spend like a certain amount to be able to like prove that the result works. But like I totally agree with you. Like, it is so much about like testing and trying, and like I think we covered a lot of what we're talking about here, which is like you have to spend enough money on it and put enough effort and like not dabble and like all of that to say whether it worked or not. Like,
it's so funny though, just like quickly before we wrap up, like we have to explain this stuff when it comes to business, but like in any other area, it just makes so much logical sense. Like, if, let's say you wanted to lose fat, get a 6-pack, get really fit and stuff. It's like the more effort you put in at the gym, the better output you're gonna get. Like, it actually, like, it's so obvious of like the healthier you eat, the more hydrated you are, like the better sleep you get, like the fitter, the healthier, the better you feel. And it's like, it's the same for your business. Like what you put in is what you're gonna get out. And it's like, but then it's not just the reps, it's also the quality of like, you could go to the gym and fuck around, not push yourself, or you could go to the gym for the same amount of time, but really push yourself. Even that alone, 2 different outcomes. Like there's like, you know, the dabbling in it and there's the mastery of it. It's like some people are following a program in the gym, they're, you know, doing heavier weights every time, and other people just like walk around, oh yeah, I'll try this machine, do a few things.
Which like will not work.
It's like there's a difference. So it's like there's the reps and the consistency, and then there's the quality, and like both matter.
Doesn't work a little. It just doesn't work. Like it just doesn't work, you know, which sucks because we'd always love to.
And like people are like, why would you pay for a PT? It's like, because like a PT will push you. It will make you go there. It will make you care about it more. Like all of these things, like you get a better outcome than when you go there. Like when I go to a gym floor, like I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm like, which machine looks the easiest right now? Like fucking, I don't know. And I end up walking on the treadmill and leaving. Whereas like if I have a PT or I'm in a class, I can't just stop the class midway.
Tell them your goals, they tell you they're whatever. Like
you got to do it. So it's like you get what you pay for.
Yep.
You honestly get what you pay for.
Cool. This was rad. Hopefully
Great
it was
chat.
valuable to people watching. This was super fun to do. Yeah.
So fun.
Super good.